Hey everybody, Mac to Monster, back with Marvel Heroes, and this time we got Cable up on the chopping block. And as you all know, probably know, he got his 52 review in, finally. So I finally get to redo his video and bring him up to cosmic level. And he's definitely changed. He's changed for the better. They brought in a melee side for him. Not sure if I really like that side or not. I've got a range side and I do like it. Works pretty well. Hits like a truck. Uh, Gets run over like a truck. So he's kind of squishy. But all in all, pretty good job. So, going over Cable, going right to his build. First off, there it is, no Omega points. And pretty much you can see the major change right there is Scanny's son. They added, this is all melee now. The Chosen Scion is his psionic powers, his mental powers, and a Chrono Soldier is where all his guns are. And this is where we're going to be dealing with. So I'm going to do 20 points into Pulse Rifle. When we're done, this is going to be a basic attack. As you can see, the spirit cost is removed. When you start putting points into it, you're going to see a spirit cost. Don't worry about it. I'll show you how to get rid of it. So Pulse Rifle is going to give us a basic attack that attacks really fast and does some pretty good extra damage for us. We're going to do 20 points into Particle Accelerator. Now you look at the skill, and this has got a whole lot of stuff written on here. It's got energy damage twice per second for 3 seconds. Triggers an explosion when its duration ends or the target's defeated. This is unaffected by power duration. Explosion energy damage. Energy damage twice per second for 3 seconds. Also triggers an explosion when its duration ends or target's defeated. Final explosion energy damage. Plus damage plus 25% to Chrono Soldier powers for 10 seconds when you use it. A cooldown 8 seconds. So that's a whole lot of stuff. And really when it comes down to on this skill is it's 25% extra damage to Chrono Soldier powers. That's what we want to really pay attention to. Everything else is nice fluff, fluff and nutter. You're putting fluff on your sandwich. Okay, we're going to do 20 points into his Foresight Bomb, signature ability here. This does some nice extra damage. It knocks down enemies. It goes out for 3 seconds, taunts everything around it, including bosses and everything, so they stick around it, and then it blows up. It's on a 30-second cooldown. We're going to do 20 points into Veteran Warrior. This is going to give us some accuracy, which gives us critical hit rating and damage rating. It gives us I should say it gives us critical hit rating and critical damage rating. Then Veteran Warrior also gives us damage rating, critical hit chance, critical damage rating, on top of the accuracy, movement speed, and then you can actually select yourself how you want to be specialized in it. So we'll just spend the points here for now, 20 points. We're going to do 20 points into Techno-Organic Virus. This is going to give us passive effects of health regeneration, restore spirit when you're not using abilities, damage negation of 10%, defense rating, it will revive you should you be defeated. And then when you're dropped below 40% health, it gives you extra damage shield of 25%. And you regenerate more health for 8 seconds. We're going to put 20 points into Psychic Haze. This will give us a mental damage power. All this over here is energy damage. This will give us mental damage. So we'll have 2 damage types. That's very important. It also snares things. But really we want the mental damage. And then finally, that should be 7 skills. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The rest of your points, I have all my points. The rest of your points should be dumped into Telekinetic Repulsion. This will give you some dodge and tenacity and projectile deflection. And then when enemies enter within melee range, you can knock them back once every 6 seconds and do some extra damage. If you wanted to, you could at this point put in 1 point into telepathic illusion and get an illusion out there for you as well. He is squishy. The illusion can help. It taunts. I don't take the illusion. I just don't want the extra button. I could easily put it in there though, and it would be a distraction. So that's your choice if you want that. So with all that said, you spend your points and then you get to specialize. In this case, we're going to take Ordnance Discipline. This unlocks Particle Accelerator for you, so now you can actually use it. This makes Viper Beam, which you spent 20 points into, now it becomes Hyper Viper Beam. Now it's energy damage twice per second with damage plus 150%. Immune to crowd control now. And it's got a 6-second cooldown. And it will give us Foresight Bomb only deals energy damage. And then, oh yeah, it gave us Particle Accelerator. I already went over that. So, oh yeah, and then Pulse Rifle, the Spirit cost is removed, like I said before. So that's what happens when we specialize in Ordnance Discipline. And how I set that up is I put Pulse Rifle on my left mouse button. I keep Quick Body Slide on my right mouse button. I put Psychic Haze down because the first thing I want to do is get mental damage rolling. And I'll show you why it's very important and once we get into gearing. I got Particle Accelerator up, and we want to fire this off first. And then I got Hyper Viper Beam. This is going to kill everything that you want. This is the big damage dealer. This thing will annihilate stuff. This will finish it off if it's not already dead, the Particle Accelerator. But really we want the extra 25% damage to Hyper Viper Beam. And then the Foresight Bomb, again, this is one skill that I usually use for bosses. You usually don't need it. That's how sickening Hyper Viper Beam really is. Unless it's changed from test, I don't think it has. That's been the standout skill of Test Center's Hyper Viper Beam. It stands out so strong, nothing in the melee tree even equates to it. So, going into gearing. So, I'm going to go with the easy gear first, and then I'm going to get into some of the complicated things. And they're not really that complicated. So we got an Advanced Phoenix Feather. This gives us 505 energy damage rating. The mental damage is kind of a trick damage. We don't want to buff that damage. We're just using that damage to get something else to cycle. So we really want to buff energy damage. So 505 energy damage is pretty good, and we'll take that. Again, it's another chance to revive if we should be defeated. So we're going to be sticking around. I got a Magneto Was Right t-shirt. This is a little bit more difficult to find of the gear that I have. I bought it for 2 blessings. It's not really that expensive or hard to get on the trade market. Don't overspend on it. 2 blessings is pretty easy. Just advertise buying for 2 blessings. You'll get a cheap one. This has got 258 damage rating, 310 damage rating to range powers. We got ranged, 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 ranged. The only thing not ranged is signature power. I asked for it on Test Center. They wouldn't put it on that Foresight Bomb. And then 123 critical hit rating and 113 brutal strike rating. So it's a pretty good artifact. Using the Dr. Octopus medallion. This gives us bigger power radius. It's a cosmic, so it's plus 2 to all powers. Critical hit rating to area attacks and damage rating. And we got area, 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 area. It's pretty big, and plus it's a radius, so all those area skills affect a bigger radius now. Kind of nifty how those all tie in. I'm going to move this over here. With the last Limbo event, Mystic Mayhem, I got one of these Bloodstone Demon Bands. They're pretty common from the boxes, so I don't consider this all too hard to get. But this has got 266 mental damage rating. Oh, this is the wrong one. Well, it's +1 energy, which is really what I wanted off of it. Defense rating and +1 speed, which helps out. I'll use it anyways. +1 to all abilities. There was one that was 266 energy damage rating. I just grabbed the wrong one. Doesn't matter. We got Insignia Phoenix. 10% chance to revive when defeated, another chance to arise. But when you hit with a range power, you and your allies gain 147 energy damage, 147 mental damage, and 1 energy for 8 seconds, tying it all in. 1,394 health and 738 defense. He's kind of squishy, so that defense isn't terrible. I got a +3 energy pet that's based on ranged powers. I got +240 area damage. Relics. I got health on my costume, much needed, and a 3-to-1 core, 25% health, 100 spirit.
Building my first suit in a cave to
kind of needed as well. We got Techno-Organic Virus Inhibitor. It's got damage rating on it. It's got power radius, very important. Ties in with our Dr. Octopus power radius. It's got power duration, not important. +1 energy, 400 crit rating, 1,000 critical damage rating, 1,700 health, +1 to all powers. +4 to Cable's chosen Scion powers. We got Tasker's Treads. 1,300 defense, 1,700 health, 1,100 critical damage rating. Got critical hit chance. 4% base damage versus bosses. +2 to all powers. +1 to particle accelerator. So that's alright. 440 damage rating on the Forge's bionic arm harness. We like that. 1,700 defense. It's got brutal strike chance, brutal strike damage. It's got spirit. Chance to ignore damage. It's got health. Visual size increase. This is interesting. +2 to all powers. +5 to Techno-Organic Virus. And +2 to Foresight Bomb. Afghanistan bodysuit. A lot of defense, 2,200 defense, like that. 340 damage rating too. When defeated, you instead revive to full health and spirit with a 10-minute cooldown. That's like number 4, by the way. You'll never die. 3,200 health. That's a lot. We like that. +4% XP. That's kind of crazy in itself too. Less damage from area powers. +3 energy. That is phenomenal. +1 to all powers. +4 ranks to Afghanistan powers. And that's just important because actually there's 2 in there. 883 damage on the Hyper Viper Beam. 1,000 critical hit damage. We got critical hit chance. We got energy damage rating on there. We got damage rating to range powers on there. +1 to all powers. +2 to Cable's Chrono Soldier powers. +6 ranks to Viper Beam, which is Hyper Viper Beam. And +5 to Pulse Rifle. So those are all pretty good. Now we're going to get into some of the tie-in things. And the first one we're going to go is with the Power Cosmic. Even though this isn't leveled up, that's okay. So we'll just assume you leveled up your Power Cosmic. And this is how it's going to work. When you hit with an energy or mental damage rating, you're going to get 1,500 damage rating, which is just phenomenal. No other legendary is going to top that. But on top of that, you'll get +2 to all attributes. And that's pretty phenomenal as well. Tying in with that is the Dupe Ectoplasm. When you hit with an energy power, you'll gain this one, you're going to gain 19.9% base damage versus bosses for 10%. And when I hit with the mental power, remember we got the mental skill, this is the reason we took it, will get 797 damage rating for 10 seconds. There is not a single artifact out there that's like that good. We got the Armor M26 Anti-Reality Gray. Oh, this is not hard to get at all, too. This is just you buy it from the vendor. This is Cosmic World Stones. I'm trying to think. I think it was 500. Armor M26 Anti-Reality Grenade. This, when you hit with a mental power, you gain 799 crit rating to area powers for 10 seconds. Remember that all these are area skills, especially Hyper Viper Beam. So we like that. And when you hit with energy power, you'll gain 998 damage rating to area powers for 10 seconds, plus 1 power radius. Now, this is just phenomenal. I mean, it's like second best for this build. I can't think of other things out there that are better. It's just crazy. And then finally, we put the power dupe on a defensive Uru. And when you hit with an energy power, you'll get 1500 critical damage rating for 17 seconds. And when you hit with a mental power, you'll gain 523 damage rating for 17 seconds. This guy's gonna hit like a truck and another truck behind it. And then there's going to be a battleship.
I don't have time for this.
So, we'll go kill a Cosmic Dr. Octopus. Remember, he's not even blessed. And there's no Omega points. Oop, wrong one. Let's go back. I don't want to kill Shocker. I want to kill Dr. Octopus. There we go. Much better. This looks right. You gotta hold the button down for the Hyper Viper Beam, and that's what the Hyper Viper Beam was. As you can see, what's happening here is I put the pulse, or the particle beam, particle accelerator on a mob, and when the particle accelerator blows up, the particle goes on to a different mob, and when that blows up, it goes on to a different mob. So if the particle accelerator blows up and hits all the mobs, each one gets affected by the particle accelerator. Kind of like exploding palm from Diablo.
Threat removed. Face these guys. I just need more time.
So you can see what I mean by he's squishy. That beam set up this way goes off screen, so Even if you're channeling and there's no mobs on the screen, keep going. Come on, where's the mobs? Here we go. Because of the power radius that's been added to it, the length of it's been added as well. Oh, the body. We got our bonus box.
Well, we're done here. Victory party only.
I really didn't want to do this.
And that was a pretty easy Dr. Octopus
Nice
kill.
moves, not
But you saw with the trash how squishy he is. I mean, he's just really squishy. And he's that way with melee, which is what led me away from melee. He looked really appealing melee, but not when he's that squishy. So, that's Cable Soldier X build. Hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed, and talk to everybody real soon.